All right, for your final exam portfolio, you are going to find, some of you will be working on Keynote. If you're working on Keynote, there is a handout that you need to get from me that has the 6 required slides for your final exam. For those of you that are using PowerPoint, what you're going to do is you're going to log on to the computer. You're going to go ahead to your little File Explorer window, and you're going to find where this file is located. So I have a template started for you. It'll look very similar to last year, but it has different last semester, but it has different slides on it. You want to go to the P drive, go into the Classes folder, and as you get into Classes, you're going to look for my name. So you're going to open up Glaze. Now, this is where it's very important that you actually move to the Teacher Handouts section. Under Teacher Handouts, you're going to go to your class. And in this case, I'm going to move into the Intro folder. There's only one file in there, and that is the file that you need, that it's very, very important for you to begin working on this project. So after you open it up, you're going to see that it's going to pop up on the screen. The very first thing you want to do is you want to save it to your own H drives. And I want to make sure that you realize the importance of saving it properly, because if you leave here shut down and you don't save it, you just click save and you run out, you will lose that entire day of work, and you don't want to do that. Okay, I'm giving you the warning now, so please heed the warning. You need to File, Save As. And when you save as, you're going to find a little button. Mine might look a little different than yours, but you'll find like a little browse somewhere. And you're going to browse in there, and we're going to find the H drive. And your H drive will have your ID number there. It'll end in an H over here. So you want to make sure you scroll down and you find where that's at. Again, mine has my name. Yours will have your ID number. You're going to come over here. I want you to go ahead and take your name and place it right where it says name. So you're going to go ahead and type your name, first and last, and then you're going to go ahead and hit save. When you come in tomorrow, you should be able to open it up from your H drive, not from the P drive any longer. The P drive will only have the blank template. So you don't want to open it up from there every day, otherwise you have to redo the work every day. So that's where you should be saving all of your work to. Now, in this case, the first slide, moving things from your P drive to your H drive. If there's anything that we have on the P drive, you may want to move it over. Second slide talks about how to save as. That's exactly what I just showed you how to do. And then our third slide starts with our actual content. Content, stuff that's going to get turned in, are slides 3 through 8. You're going to delete 1, 2, and 9 before you save it to my P drive later on. Okay? So in this slide, pretty obvious. You want to make sure you read this and you delete it. I don't need that there. You're going to go ahead and put all of your information here. Change your class period, and then you move on. This semester, I have each of our units laid out on a different slide. So the first unit from January was color theory. That's when we did all of our color theory. Color wheels, we talked about tints and shades, we talked about all those really interesting things that led us to our next unit on color application. So color theory, you're going to look here, and I've asked you 2 questions. You're going to type a response. How does this image show color theory? What does it show, and how does it show it? This image shows tints and shades. I mixed white paint with the red in different amounts, and then I used black in the same way, which gave my tints and shades. That's an example. Explain the use of media. Media is the material you use to create the artwork. The media in this case might have been watercolor. I used watercolor, obviously, with water and a brush, and I use that to apply onto my paper. Or acrylic paint with white paint and black paint. Second content slide would be color application. Again, your picture of your piece will go here. This is the painting that we did. That took a few weeks, that fine painting. Some of you had landscapes, some of you had still lives. You had some very interesting paintings. First question, what is your media? Very obvious here. Hint, acrylic paint. I gave you the answer. You just need to be able to write down there. To write it down, say acrylic paint. Explain painting methods you used when you created this piece. So I used slow dry on this part, or I blended wet paint into wet paint here, or I had to use a special technique with a palette knife for this. Explain some of it. Next slide, which would be our third unit of the semester, was based upon texture. Now this I have your cardboard portrait, but it could also be the scratchboard quote. So you can choose that scratchboard quote here. So I've asked you a few questions. One, does it use actual or implied texture? Look it up. If you don't remember, just look it up. Actual versus implied texture in art. You read about it, say, oh, okay, this uses that. And then why? It's actual texture because, or it's implied texture because. Next, what area is the best? The best area on this piece are the eyes. I feel like it did really great detail work there. What area needs improvement? I don't like the hair. I wish I would have tried a different technique on the hair, etc. All right, fourth unit was the one that we just finished up, and that is space. In space, we did a lot of perspective pieces. I took the pieces you ladies and gentlemen turned in yesterday, and I actually scanned them in for you already. So you can actually start with this one right away today. And I'm going to show you how to change the picture, so please look. Right-click on the mouse, select Change Picture, and then select your photograph to go in that space. Right-click, Change Picture. Now, I want you to kind of follow the bouncing ball to find where your pictures are loaded. I'm going to hit Browse or look for a file from the computer. I'm going to go into the public drive. I'm going to go back to where I'm familiar with, public drive, classes, Blaze, but at this time I'm going to go into Student Dropbox. When you go into your intro folder, you will find a folder in there called Cityscape Pics. Open that one up, and you can change your view up here. I have extra large icons. Some of you may also have something down here to change your view, but you basically scroll through, you find where your image is located, scroll all the way down. Yours are probably closer to the end because this is a later class period than the other ones. You find your image, and then you select Insert. That picture has now been inserted into here. I can now move it over here, make it larger. I can go to Format. I could put a little picture frame around it to neaten it up. Then I see, oh, it goes over my words. I want to make it smaller. I'm going to answer these questions. Is this 1 or 2 point perspective? This is blank point perspective. Correctly use the word orthogonal to describe a part of your drawing. You just need to remember and do some recall what's an orthogonal, and if you need some clearer definition than what we talked about in class, again, look it up. You're going to use the word orthogonal to describe some part of this drawing. That slide would be something you could easily do today. Influence on my work is the last one. You want to find an artist that influences you or that you find inspirational. Someone that you look at, and this is a visual artist. We're not talking about musicians. We're not talking about performance artists. We're talking about you finding an artist, not your teacher, not your classmates, not your relatives, not your best friend. Yes, they may inspire you, but I'm looking for you to actually research someone a little bit and be able to put that person. This is the person's name. This is what they did. This is why they influenced me. And this is a picture. I can go online, find a picture of their work, or find a few pictures of their work and put them over here. Ninth and last slide is how to finish it. You don't even need to worry about that right now, but what I will tell you is you're going to save it as usual to your H drive. You're going to close down Photoshop, and then you're going to copy and paste the file into the P drive. I remind you, all saves to the P drive must be copied and pasted through your File Explorer. You cannot go to PowerPoint and File Save As. File Save As to the P drive will give you an error message, which results in a 0 file. And if you turn in a 0 file, I have no other choice but to put in a 0 for a grade, because you have been warned. Again, To save properly to the P drive, you have to save to your H drive, shut it down, and copy and paste it to the appropriate folder that I will be showing you probably later this week into early next week to make sure that you are on track with where you should be. All right? So I want to make sure you, again, remember every single day, you want to make sure that you're saving it. After you save it to your H drive, that's where you open it up from every single day. Those of you working on Keynote, you will need to go to the stacks of papers for your class period, for your project. You will need to photograph that individual piece and then place it back in the stack if requested. If it's an older piece, you can take them home. If it's your current CUA project on perspective, I need those back. But anything older than that can go home. Your paintings, earlier perspective drawings, your color theory pieces, your cardboard pieces, etc. But again, you're going to take and you're going to photograph all those individual pieces on your iPad, and you're going to insert those pictures. But all of my Keynote users, the expectation is your content on each of your slides will be an exact match to what I've requested on screen here, as well as on the handouts that you should have picked up from my desk. If you don't have it, all you need to do is ask for one. 6 slides, image, written content, done well, and then put your design into it. After all these slides are done, delete, delete, and delete 129. And then please make sure that you're looking at your design. Look and see what makes your pieces look great. If it's an all black or an all white background, maybe change the fonts out, maybe add a little bit of style to it. Really make it something that's really unique for you and your portfolio. That just puts that finishing touch on it, and it raises it up a little bit in grade from just okay to really well done. So again, do a great job. Make sure you ask me questions if you have them. But follow this video and pause, rewind, fast forward to make sure you're doing everything correctly and you can find exactly where you need to find those individual pieces. Have fun, do a great job. Don't forget this is your final exam portfolio, so it's incredibly important.